Before starting Strickland Brothers, I was a lube technician in the industry. Was hired as a minimum wage lube technician for some of our competitors and felt like they all had similar gaps in them. And so I've always been native to the automotive industry, had some time at Napa Auto Parts, and I then worked for some of our now competitors. So the Strickland Brothers idea came from Mark Agan's 30th birthday. I'd been a minimum wage hood technician and felt like there were some gaps in the industry and really wanted an opportunity to prove those gaps. My dad and my mom and our ancestors, if you will, didn't come from money or C-suites or anything else. They were tobacco sharecroppers and farmers primarily, and diesel mechanics. So on Mark's 30th birthday, we were sitting in a bar. I started rambling on a piece of paper how I saw this working. And the next day he called me and asked when we were going to start implementing this business. And I kind of laughed about it because it just seemed like one of those out of reach possibilities because we didn't have any money. So I turned it into a more elaborate business plan, and I went to about a half a dozen banks who essentially laughed us out of their buildings. We had $6,000 in the bank account and nobody would give us a loan. So my grandfather agreed to pursue a home equity line to put our family home place up for collateral for me to take a chance on this. And so the home appraised for $61,000 in 2012, and we maxed it out at $35,000. And my grandfather and I argued for about 4 hours in the middle of the night whether I was going to take that check or not. And he couldn't read or write, so I had to write the check and he signed it. And the next day I put in my notice and we were in business. And that first location was a slow roll for us, and everything mattered. It was a really big deal. And we scaled fairly quickly and became successful, and that is Strickland Brothers' start. That was the cap table, if you will, was my grandfather's initial $35,000 home equity line, and now we've got commitments for over 300 locations around the country, corporate and franchise, so we're very proud of our commitment. My grandfather visited the stores often, and I don't know if it was because he was just tired of my grandmother after 60 years of marriage or what, but he came to our location 4 or 5 times a week, and he was a heavy tobacco smoker, so he would come in our lobby and try to get a cup of black coffee and smoke in the lobby, which obviously isn't allowed. None of our employees had the heart to tell him he couldn't do it, and so we came up with an idea to buy a bench and put it outside of the location. That was an effort to keep him out of our lobby so he could just sit outside and smoke all day long and we didn't have to worry about it. So we bought a bench and put it in front of our first location, and when he would come to visit, we would send our employees, we all knew, run, grab a cup of black coffee, meet him outside, don't let him come inside, and he would sit on the bench for 5, 6, 7 hours and just drink coffee and smoke cigarettes and not do anything but sit on that bench. So that bench has since been named Pawpaw's Bench at Strickland Brothers, and every outlet that we have around the country, corporate and franchise, has a Pawpaw's Bench in front of it in honor of him. My grandfather had a large influence on me as a person and us as a brand, and still does today. My grandfather was a tobacco sharecropper that never made more than $10 an hour his entire life. So he spent his entire life savings for us to have a chance to have a better life. So I couldn't imagine working for 70 years and then taking everything I had and putting it up for a harebrained idea for a 23-year-old young man. So that's what he did for us. His work ethic and his servant leadership style has certainly been passed to me, our company, and scaled us across the country. So he's very special to me, he's very special to this company, and the reason we all have jobs. I think the future of Strickland Brothers is very bright. We've added a lot of top talent as it relates to corporate infrastructure. We've brought in some A players to our franchise partner list. We have a lot of units that are being opened right now around the country. Currently, as it is today, we have almost 50 units open. And so starting today, the future is even brighter than it was several years ago. We have over 200 units awarded. They're all in developer programs and moving forward into construction and under contract phases. And so over the next 4 to 5 years, it wouldn't surprise me to see Strickland Brothers have 300, 350 units open with another 250 committed, and it will be a household name.